So let's get this back on track here, right? Shout out to Matty Wilfork on the tier 1 sub as well. Matty, welcome in. You're just in time to watch us trade Tyler Myers finally. People have been asking me and begging me to trade Tyler Myers. Well, you're finally going to get your wish. Unfortunately, there's only 2 teams where it really makes sense for us to trade Tyler Myers. The first is the New York Rangers. But even then, does it really make sense when the only guy to really acquire is Mirko Mueller, who was only a 74 at 23 years old, a dude that we traded to the Rangers in the first place. So no, not really. Meaning, Tyler Myers is heading west. Because while the internet went down, I did scroll through every team. It's the Anaheim Ducks. They have the best trade offer for me. It's either Emerson Edem or we go after that first round pick this year that looks pretty good. It's one or the other at this stage. I'd love to get that first pick, but I can't guarantee I'd be able to get a player better than Emerson Edem from that draft. So Emerson's our target here, as well as a future first-round pick of theirs as well. And the good thing is I should be able to retain the cap on the Myers deal for the rest of the season and be over the budget. I lied. That's actually not a possibility, apparently. I'm still willing to retain salary on him because we're going to have to take somebody else back in the deal. Is Renaud enough? No. How much salary? What is happening right now? Why is it not? Oh, God, it's going to make me scroll all the way up. Bullshit. Who has super low value on the Ducks? Anybody? Can I take Shea Theodore? All right, this might get more difficult than I thought. Can take on Ricard Raquel, who's not that good. They don't want to trade him, so that's going to hurt a little bit. But Tyler Myers, Emerson Edem, Ricard Raquel. What do I have for draft picks? We got our own and we got Toronto's. Do we have anybody else that we want to trade away? There's Vlasic, who definitely needs to go. Do they have a random goalie that I can take that's not Jonas Hiller? Give me Sasher. What the hell is their cap structure, man? Seriously. I can't even take John Gibson. Who else can I take then? This is going to be a little bit more of a pain in the ass to pull off. What if I take on Matt Bolesky? Nope, apparently not. What the hell is the issue then? If it's not cap, can I take out Raquel and then put a goalie in? No, that's not enough. I am so confused as to what the apparent issue is retaining more than 3 people. You think? What if I drop this? If it'll be like, yeah, no, that's fine. Let's see. Defenders, Myers. No, it still shows it. It's not being eligible. They are over the cap. That's so weird. Can I retain on the 2 of them to get there? No, I cannot. This is a little bit bizarre. I'll give it that. Okay, we'll use Bolesky instead. So Bolesky, Edem, Sasher. We add Vlasic to the deal. We're going to try to make this a blockbuster if we can. We love ourselves a good blockbuster trade. I'd love to get rid of Oshie or Stewart, but I think we're going to have to do it in a secondary trade. Defensively, Ola Henriksen's not looking amazing. Only a 66 at 20 years old. Ola's going to be in the same spot that Mirko Mueller is now. Hate to waste a 2nd overall pick, but it just looks like we missed. So, Myers. I wonder how close we could possibly be to making this happen. Myers and that first are pretty close in value. Adam and Vlasic are pretty close. Henriksen probably puts it over the line a bit. If we safety net this with a couple of mid picks, this should go through. And that way we get rid of two guys who aren't going to develop. We get rid of Tyler Myers, who sucks and is on a contract year. We bring in Emerson Edem, see if he can do a good enough job. And in worst case, we have Anaheim's first pick, which could be a very high draft pick, as could our own. So they do want seconds. But what if I go 2 fourth-round picks? Myers, Vlasic, Henriksen, and 2 fourths for Edem, Bolesky, Sasha in their first. There it is. Tyler Myers on his way to the Ducks. We pick up Emerson Edem and their very, very valuable first-round pick. So no complaints from me after that particular trade. So there goes Tyler Myers. There goes that man. We're going to call up Charlie Ortmeyer to fill out the roster for the rest of the season. I do need to trade either Oshie or Stewart. And that's going to be our next move at this stage. Can we trade Oshie or Stewart before the deadline is up? JSD had fetched up first. Oh, no, that was a call-up. Okay, it was Goligoski that fetched the first. That makes more sense. Do we have a trade offer? We do. The LA Kings are calling. Zadorov and Klingberg for a first, basically. I am worried about Zadorov's skating. He's not bad, but what is he going to cap out at, given he's only a 79 at 23 years old? He's been okay this season, but he doesn't add points. And again, at the time, you couldn't check shot blocks or hits. I feel like that's not a bad way to go. Shout out to the most random of sounds, which I'm surprised wasn't "fuck you, Baltimore," in all honesty. Zadorov's not bad, but I feel like due to the lack of development, he can almost be viewed as dime a dozen. We can get a player that does what he does at any time. To get a first-round pick for that, I'm going to take it. And then Klingberg was a free agent signing this year. Zadorov and Klingberg essentially for LA's first-rounder in 2020 because we're swapping third-round picks. Let's do it. I didn't think we'd get a trade offer that looked that decent, but I feel like that's not a bad deal. Dallas is calling. That's not going to happen. We're going to bank on Connor McDavid getting somewhat close to Connor McDavid status. So right wing side, we have Oshie and Stewart. Similar ages. Both their contracts are actually up at the end of the year. And given that we're not going to make the playoffs, I don't know if we'd be able to pair them together anywhere. But this would be a deal to make. And thank you for the anonymous bits, by the way. The problem is no other team really had anybody that I wanted. Although, if other trades have happened, teams can change their attempted list. Now, the New Jersey Devils did have Ilya Kovalchuk on the block. And maybe that's the interesting trade that we go for if he's still there. 2 for 1. Oshie and Stewart are going to leave anyway. And we bring in Kovalchuk for a little bit. I mean, he's 35 and has 7 years left. But there aren't too many other deals that are going to be out there. Like Matt Molson. Again, there's the Mirko Mueller trade, but I don't really feel like we'd be missing that much. And then most teams, if they have a prospect out there, they're not very good. Unless there was a team there. Okay, this was the other one for Vancouver, which was Alex Edler. 32 years old on an expiring deal, though. And the Canucks aren't willing to move picks. that was another tough one. Let's see. Anaheim is interested. Is there anybody interested that wouldn't have to see us take back too much salary? I think the answer to that is no. I don't know how much more salary I can retain. San Jose, St. Louis. These are the two primary spots we'd want to look at. The Sharks are willing to trade their first, but obviously it's not worth that much. And they're not really giving up anything that we would want. Or do they really have anybody that we'd want outside of that Umberger guy, who they took first overall, and he's fucking insane. The value of Oshie and Stewart is not enough. St. Louis. They do have Tarasenko. 3 years left. Could we work out a deal, Oshie and Stewart, back to the Blues for Vladimir Tarasenko? And take that dude on an expiring deal? What's the issue? You have the cap to do it. What the hell is the issue with this one? What if I also take Steve Downey? Okay. That should go through. It should. They're willing to give up their first as well. I mean, Tarasenko and Oshie are close. Stewart and the first are close. If we safety net it, this should go through. And we get rid of 2 pending UFAs. And then we run with Emerson Edom and Tarasenko on our right side. It's not too bad. Obviously, I still have other players I wouldn't mind moving right now. If we safety net this with the 5th and 2/6, will this go through? Fuck. All right. We got 2 hours left. 2 hours left, 2 phones left. St. Louis is calling. They want Barbashev. I don't blame them. Just back out of that. Even though I'm pretty sure I could have edited that particular screen. Back to talking with the Blues. So obviously, because they don't want to trade Tarasenko, they're going to view him as having a really high trade value. Easy for me to say. Is there a way to pull off this deal? Oshie, Stewart. Who else could we give up where it's not cap dependent? And I don't really feel like we have the prospects to do it. The only thing we have are higher picks. Because we already got rid of that goalie. Okay. I mean, this is worth it if it goes through. Get St. Louis's high-valued first and Tarasenko. It's Oshie, Stewart, 2 seconds and a third for Tarasenko, Downey, and St. Louis's first, and they took it. So we move on from Oshie and Stewart, because they were probably going to walk at the end of the season anyway. And now we have Vladimir Tarasenko for 2 years after this one, and the Blues' first-round pick. We have 1 hour left. Walser, Bailey, Edom's on an expiring deal, Safronov, McAllister, Saprikin. If we could flip Bolesky, if we could flip Clutterbuck, we'd be doing okay. Kolyakov 02, but he doesn't have the value of the other guys there. Is there any way to flip Bolesky and Clutterbuck in this deal? And again, I feel like we have still 2 retention spots. I might be wrong. We need to at least look. So, I mean, obviously Anaheim, we already have their first. Ooh, Calgary. Plenty of cap space. Of course the Flames want grit. When do they not? When do they not? They want to trade their first as well. This would be a wonderful trade for us. Can we take on Dennis Weidman for the rest of the year? That's not enough. What about Nino as well? Nino's in the AHL, too. I would have to give up a little bit to make this happen, but it is worth a shot. Is there a deal that makes sense? Stahlberg still has a couple years left, so we don't have to use him. Have to start dipping into picks next year. I'm all right with the kind of mid picks. If we go with our second, third, and fourth next year for Bolesky and Clutterbuck for their first, Weidman and Niederreiter? No, they'd have to put staging on waivers, so they said no. I do still think we had a pretty good deadline. You know, certain players that I didn't necessarily want to get rid of, but it made sense to get rid of them. I'm going to say no to Will Weber. Yeah, Chris Stewart was our leading scorer with 20 goals, so that hurts a little bit. Not that Bailey was that far behind, but I feel like that was a pretty good deadline for us. Goaltending stays the same. That's fine. Let's actually swap Markkanen and Sasha again. Soccer, whatever it might be. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give Vigilante the chance at the NHL level. It's a bit younger, but why not? Albeit infrequently. That does still come up in modern games, yeah. But honestly, it's a good thing. It's like the AI should be aware of, like, well, if we do this trade, we would have to, you know, we'd have to lose somebody. So, it's not soccer, it's football. I see what you did there. Sorry, give me a second here. Inconsistent as always. Inconsistent as always. Goodness. Goodness, goodness. All right. There we go. So, on the right, Tarasenko and Edem, Stahlberg, Clutterbuck. We're probably going to put Downey through waivers, although we might need a left wing. No, we don't. Safronov. Well, we got Safronov, Bolesky, Barbashev, Draisaitl. Bolesky can play fourth line for us. That's fine. Unless we want to call up Saprikin. And honestly, I think we do. I think we do want to call up Saprikin and give him a chance for the rest of the season. And it's center. You know what? Yeah, let's turn it over to the youth. If there's youth that's ready to go. So Steve Downey, we're going to put you through waivers. We didn't lose him. If we did lose him, it wouldn't be a big deal. Matt Bolesky, will we lose you? If we swap you with Saprikin, these are guys that are leaving at the end of the year anyway. Bolesky cleared waivers. Christ. And then centers, we'll send down Anton Vermette for Howerluck, and Vermette cleared as well. Wow. The Buffaloes stink, apparently. That works for me. Except I'm on, you know what? Yeah, we'll put Barbashev on the top line. So Barbashev, Bailey, Tarasenko, Draisaitl, McDavid, Edem, Safronov, Gergensen, Stahlberg, Saprikin, Howerluck, Clutterbuck. Not bad. Defense, Walzer, McAllister, Koliakovo, Lukowicz, Ortmeyer, and Vigilante. We want to split those two up. Let's get Koliakovo with Vigilante. And we'll go best lines in Rochester at this point because we would like that team to make the playoffs to get some of the younger dudes a little bit more experience. But for now, it just looks like it is smooth sailing to the end of the season and pretty much straight into the draft. Again, we still have not been able to break through here, which is a little bit of a shame. But that's okay. One of these days. Oh my God, I'm the actual Buffalo Sabres. It's already happened. One of these days, we have to break through, and then we never do. We have officially become the Buffalo Sabres. It's happened. Oh, God. Great. Great. I've had the realization. Perpetual rebuilding with the Sabres. I've rebuilt the Sabres into the Sabres. God. What an awful realization. We are who we thought we were. God. Jesus, man. All right. Well. My goodness. My goodness, my goodness. Maybe it wasn't NHL 13's fault. Maybe not. Honestly, I mean, if it takes a while, we might go back to 13 before heading to 15. That might have to happen. We might need to get redemption sooner rather than later. Who's to say? Goodness. Hello, Mr. Nugent Television. How are ya? How are ya? How are ya? Give me a second here. Can't type. There we go. Do we have a time in mind? 12:45, 1? Either one. I do kind of want to get through the draft at least tonight, so I probably do need about another 10, 15 minutes. Probably. Remember when the Flyers were dead last ahead of us, and now they're the top team in the league? God. Goodness. 34, and 7. Boys, you might as well just lose out the schedule at this point. Because we still can't figure it out. Can't be disappointed in... Yeah, it's true. You can't be disappointed in the playoffs until you make them. So, aside from that, we can just perpetually be terrible. And that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Goodness. My goodness. See, Sabres fans? Even if you chose McDavid, guess what? This would have been your fate. This would have been your fate, even if you picked Connor McDavid. It would have been. But hey, we're a veteran GM now. That's fun. And we finally got a level 5 amateur scout. Thank God. Thank God. Whew. Finally got that upgrade. We needed it. 38, 37, and 7. A lovely, lovely record, to say the least. As we will take a look to see just how bad we were. We were 23rd, so we didn't even tank properly. We do have Anaheim's pick, though, as they finished dead last. Yes, we got that right. So 2 lottery picks, including Anaheim's, with the top lottery odds, as they had just 2 fewer points than the Detroit Dead Wings. So that trade for Tyler Myers is looking pretty damn good right now. Whew, okay. That's a pretty big pick-me-up right there. That's not bad. That is not bad. So our final points stat total on the season, it was Bailey with 60 points. McDavid had 53. He's up to an 85 now. Draisaitl, who was last season's Rookie of the Year, on 49. Barbashev on 42, Safronov on 40. Gergensen's, looks like he dropped, maybe? Or was he always an 83? I could have sworn he was an 84. Tarasenko only spent half the season here. So did Emerson Edom. We'll have to make a decision about the Eatum. Spreakin, 7 points in 19 games on the 4th line. Not too bad. Howard had 8. So, not bad. Defensively, 24 points for Koliakovo. You had 20 points for Walser. Lukovic at a 79. Obviously, we got some of the younger guys in the lineup there towards the end of the season. In terms of goaltending, it looks like Makarov did well. He did. He had a 926, a 908 for Eric Williams. Let's take a look around the league here. Let's take a look. Goodness. My God. Matt Santos, absolute monster in this game. Matt Duchene, Jonathan Drouin, Zach Parise, Jordan Eberle, your top 5. You also had Nugent Hopkins and JVR hit 80 points. Top goal scorer was Santos, as he, Drouin, and Hall were the ones to break 40. There's also Ty Ratty, who maybe we should have gotten instead of Tarasenko, huh? Grabner, Nazem Kadri, Landeskog, and Ryan Callahan were up there. For defenders, leading point getter Shea Weber, boy, let me tell you. 50 points for Alex Pietrangelo. You have Dougie Hamilton up there, David Savard, Ryan McDonough. Ryan McDonough. Unbelievable. Top goal scorer, 16 points, or 16 goals, obviously, for Pietrangelo. For goaltenders, lowest save percentage belongs to Tuukka Rask. You had Bobrovsky, Rene, Leonard, and Ray Vornasky. All under a 2.0. King of the save percentage, Tuukka Rask with a 940. Jesus Christ. And 10 shutouts for Tuukka, which led the league, as you might suspect. For the rookie skaters, most points, well, Reid Boucher had more than Connor McDavid. You also had Brent Motto, Blake Clark, and Luca Alessio. Rookie goalies, you'll have Murray Corson and Ken Appleby in the conversation. So we'll see how it plays out. We will see. 38, 37, and 7. We head to the draft with the number 1 odds. The number 1 odds. Goodness. My gourd. All right, let's see how it goes. Hopefully, too. I want to see if this Tier 5 scout, this fully maxed out scout, if that's enough for the auto scout to kind of handle its business, or if we are going to have to start being a little bit more aggressive with manual scouting. We shall see. Scout some of the top 5 projected guys. I should probably do that at least. Yeah, that's fair. It was the biggest waiver claim. We had an 86 overall player as a waiver claim previously. So that's still probably the biggest. It honestly looks like we have good info on most first rounders. So that's promising. Top 10, there's information on everybody. There's not a single forward in the top 10 that's showing up with 0 information. The defense is looking good too. I think our scouts finally figured it out. I think they did. Well, there we go. There's Jacobson, top 5. He's got info. Looks like we're okay. My guess is they're going to be hello. I think we just found our franchise goalie chat. If we get a pick that's good enough. Bryant Ryan. Whew. Monsters. Anybody else projected that high up? Yeah, our scout has given us a lot of information. I think we're good. Let's get to this draft, man. I'm excited now. Our scouts are finally helping us out a little bit. Our AHL team did make the playoffs as well. So, Mills, what's going on, by the way? How are you? I hope you are well. Tendy time in Bigelow. I mean, hey. Buffalo loves them some goaltenders, you know? see. Ooh, our AHL team, I think, is going to the third round of the Calder Cup playoffs. So Rochester making a run. Carnage as well. What's going on? Mods, I know what I said, by the way. Mills, yes. I'll talk more about it in a little bit, but yes. As far as I know. I will talk about it in a minute or two. First person for our new cat to lay with and snuggle with. How do I politely tell my girlfriend to get fucked? Oh, Jake, that's amazing. That's amazing. You don't even have to say anything. Just look. Just look. Or take a selfie with you snuggling with the cat. That's the way. That's the way. Which it's funny because anytime the fiance and I run in to a new animal, I am almost always immediately the favorite as well, and she gets very mad about it. The Colorado Avalanche have won the Stanley Cup in 2019. It's hilarious how many of the teams that have won in the round, or in this kind of round of NHL 14, would go on to win Stanley Cups within a 5-year span of when they actually won. It's even better because it's supposed to be her cat. That's fair. That does make it better. You're not wrong. Let's take a look at the Stanley Cup champion Avalanche, who beat the Montreal Canadiens in the final, the Patrick Waugh Bowl. Should I get a jersey? Who should I get a jersey of next for Detroit? Seider or DeBrincat? I have a Larkin. You got to get a DeBrincat based off of this season. You got to. Or be a man. Get a Justin Hall jersey. Whoops, we wanted to look at player stats for the playoffs, not team stats. Let's see. Jake Wallman is that's the nerd pick, is Jake Wallman. Colorado, led by Matt Duchene, P.A. Parento, Gabriel Landeskog, Yuri Hoodler, Baby Mac, Thomas Vincourt, Eric Johnson, Tyson Barrie, and in goal, Calvin, Murder Stare, Pickard. Jesus. That was an intense picture. In terms of the awards, keeps bouncing between Eastern and Western teams. Art Ross Trophy to Matthew Santos, which is ridiculous. A Hart Trophy to Matthew Santos. The Norris to Alex Pietrangelo. Santos also wins the Bing. The Calder does go to Reed Boucher. Couldn't be Draisaitl and McDavid back-to-back. Conn Smythe to Calvin Pickard. The Vezina to Ottawa's Robin Leonard. See, Jonathan Taves wins a consecutive Selke. Ted Lindsay to Matthew Santos. Rocket Richard to Matthew Santos. The Texas Stars won the Calder Cup. Sollenberger for leading point getter goes to a dude named Taylor Vickerman. The league MVP was Matt D'Agostini. The top goal scorer, Marcel Nobles. The top rookie, Marcel Nobles. The best defenseman, Marcus Huselius. Top goaltender, Antti Niemi. The MVP of the playoffs, Wyatt Hofflin, who wins the Butterfield. The best trophy in sports, the Butterfield. As we get ready for yet another draft. Let's do it. Let's do it. Again, we have a chance at the first overall pick here. There look to have been some good players. Our scouts gave us quite a bit of information. It looks like there's a goalie that's absolutely insane. See how retirements go. Only for our team. Again, I don't really care about the league-wide perspective because all these dudes retired in real life anyway. We lose LaRose, Mettinen, and Vananen. It's fine by me. Daniel Sedin also retired. Get us to that draft. Get us to that draft. Did we win the lottery? Fuck. We end up with 2, 8, 14, and 21. We might have to talk to New Jersey to try to secure that goalie. Fuck. Winnipeg's calling. I'm going to say no to that because we don't know how good that Winnipeg pick will be. Let's talk to the Devils. Do they want to move the pick? If not, we have no shot of getting it. They do want to move the pick. Do we have anybody we can use to get this? It can't be Emerson Edom because he's on an expiring deal. If we were willing to sacrifice Tarasenko, I don't want to get rid of Safronov. He's my best left wing. Gergensons doesn't really have the value. Bailey got worse. I love that center core, though. Safronov's my best hope at left wing. We don't really have great right wings, though, if we get rid of Tarasenko and Edom. As much as I like that goalie, even if we use the 8th overall pick and say, I mean, Makarov was good this year, though. Bolesky's on an expiring deal. The 8th overall pick, Victor Stahlberg. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this to go through. Positions don't matter in this game. That's fair. I still try to line things up, though. If we use that LA first next year, our second next year, and screw it, our third next year. 2 firsts, a second, a third, and Victor Stahlberg. We have picks 1 and 2 in the draft. We did use the 8th overall, but we pulled it off. All right. The first overall pick. There's no way this goalie didn't go first overall. He 100% would have gone first overall. 100%. So really quickly, let's do a little bit of research. First and foremost, there's another goalie projected first to second round. I wouldn't take him that early because, I wouldn't take him this early because his reflexes suck. But also in the top 5, Sven Jacobson. He'd be a pretty big risk based off of what we know about him. There's Cyphers, who would also be a pretty big risk based off what we know about him. Apparently his shooting's going to be okay. Mark Abdelkader. 3-star defense as a defenseman. That's not great either. And then the last guy in the top 5, Karel Kreis, who we don't know anything about, which leads us to Troy Bonvie. He's a great skater. 6'6" and a great skater. This guy's Owen Power. There's also this guy, Corey Breen, in the top 10, but we don't know enough about him aside from general potential. Marvin McCult out of Norway. Okay. Well, we're taking a defenseman and we're taking a goalie. In terms of defensemen, oh, baby, there might be some steals. Oh, there might be some steals this year. Whew. I feel like it has to be Bonvie. Like McCall. Jesus Christ, though. Let me look at Bonvie again. The only thing we know for sure about Bonvie is 4-star defense and 5-star skating. Fairly accurate. With McCult, we pretty much know exactly what this guy is capable of. But we also know his shooting's not great. With the first overall pick, we will take from the Ottawa 67s goaltender Bryant Ryan. Oh, God. Thomas Harley. We're taking Ryan. And with the second overall pick, I'd like to thank the city of Nashville for their gracious hospitality. I'd like to congratulate the Colorado Avalanche on their Stanley Cup victory. Shout out to all the people back home at our watch party at Big Dickie's, downtown Buffalo. And to all of our season ticket holders watching in the arena tonight. To announce the first pick of this selection here for the Buffalo Sabres second overall, I would like to welcome to the podium, walking all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, so he'll be here in about 6 days. I'd like to welcome John Stamos. Not that one. He's a scout of ours. Okay, we got word that John's not here. With the second overall pick, the Buffalo Sabres select from Medicine Hat of the Western Hockey League his dad, Jim, and mom, Deborah. He's got a younger brother named Timmy. His stepdad once played in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League and went on to be best friends with Pierre Maguire, who used to be a head coach. You know Pierre Maguire. Troy Bond. Yeah, can we cut out the whole decentralization bullshit? Like, go with it. Anyone who's like, no, I want the draft to still take 6 hours. You're stupid. I'm glad the NHL is like, hey, can we make this a faster process, please? Holy shit. Troy Bondy, come on down. So from there, it's Abdelkader Jacobson. The Devils took McCult, so they might have still done well, honestly, New Jersey. We have pick number 14 after this. I guess I'm stupid. You are stupid. Shout to the crowd for the dollar. Anyone who's like, no, I like the NHL draft the way it is, you're dumb. It's okay that you're dumb. Not everybody can be smart, but you are dumb. It doesn't need to take until fucking midnight to make 32 picks because every GM has to come up there and say, we want to thank the city for its gracious hospitality. We fucking know. Anyway, that goalie, Dave O'Mara, is still there. We don't necessarily need another goalie. Is there anybody here we can look at? That guy's not too bad. Guy's not too bad. Oh, Wendo, I missed what was said. That's a shame. Grant Monroe, Sven Hornqvist, Zach Zancanaro. 4-star skating for Dustin Zancanella. Jim Stamkos. Gordon Sparks. You really want to read it? Kind of, yeah. I'm intrigued, actually. I'm intrigued. Because if you're saying, do you really want to read it, then I'm actually excited to see what it is. Oh, cool. That must have been someone that I banned on Twitter. It's amazing how mad people get, isn't it? It's amazing how mad people... I'm banning them. Let them go. Let them rant. Doesn't bother me any. What a sell. Yeah, I'm very hurt and offended. Very hurt and offended. Francois Severette. Can't hit worth a damn, though. We don't have too much to go off of. I'm down to just pick people by potential based off of what we know. Even if it's off the board, because we know that there are misses in the first round. The best player left that we know of is that goalie, Dave O'Mara. First to second round. From there, There are quite a few players. There is Pavel Arkhipov. 20-year-old Russian defenseman. I don't know if he's necessarily worth it, though. He does have a good listed potential. There are dudes that are listed second round, like Gordy Bishop. What do we want to do? Basically, I got to make a decision on Arkhipov. Let's go for the other goaltender, Dave O'Mara. And next up, because we'll still base it off of potential. Let's go for Gordy Bishop here. Let's do it. I feel like we knocked those first two picks out of the park, though. And again, we traded a lot of secondary picks this year. That's why we went for who we went for. Columbus wants Lukowicz. That is not going to happen. We don't have a third round pick either. Why we've really had to do our damage in the first round. We really had to do our damage there. We don't have a pick in the fourth round either. We have to hope that we got those first round picks right. We're not trading the Zemgoose. Not happening. We finally have another pick all the way in the fifth round. Winnipeg is calling. Not going to happen, though. What will we land with this fifth round pick, if anything? There are two guys that are confirmed 2 stars. What about goalies? Oh my god, dude, this freaking goalie draft. Randy Bootland or Philip Grosek. I mean, if we take people based off of the potential that we know they are. Chris Back is confirmed 2 stars, but the freaking attributes aren't that bad. Same for Cousineau, to be honest. We have already taken goalies, so screw it. Let's go for Chris Back, and then we'll see if players that are guaranteed 2 stars are actually any decent. Or if it just literally means, like, yes, he is a 2-star player, and that's it. Or if they can be better than that. So, whoops, Vancouver's calling. Everyone wants Zemgus Girgensons, and that is not going to happen. Round number 6. So we got a couple of 2-star dudes left. We got another potentially good goalie left. Let's take Philip Grosek as our third goalie of the draft. And then the Wolf, Pickinen, or Fahey. Burned Wolf. 6'10", he's a monster. Great skating on Warren Fahey. Everything else looks a little bit scary. Let's go for Warren. Let's do it. He's an overager, but he does have great skating. Vancouver with one more phone call. Not going to happen. We have taken quite a few goalies in this draft. We'll see again if our 5-star scout works. So we get a 2-star goalie, Johan Gustafsson. Or we got 2-star Raimo Pickinen, and we'll take Raimo Pickinen instead of another goalie. So this is probably our most interesting draft because we had way more information. We had the first 2 picks in each round, which is hilarious. Let's see what we got here as we round this out. So we look at oh my god. 76 overall at 18 years old. 4.5 gold star. Good night. We finally have our Ryan Miller replacement in the form of Bryant Ryan. Jesus. Whew. You'll love to see that. O'Mara ended up being 3.5 red star. Grosek ended up being 2-star. But for Ryan, we absolutely hit. For the defenders, Bonvie ended up being 4-star gold at 68 overall, 19 years old. That's not too bad. Chris Back was guaranteed 2 stars, but it's 2.5 red. So Bonvie's not bad. Ortmeyer hasn't gotten any better. That's it for that. Right wing side. We didn't draft anybody, did we? I don't think we did. Left wing side. Again, I don't think we drafted anybody. And then for the centers, Fred Grant. Wow, it really did come down to the defenders and the goalies, didn't it? But all in all, it's funny. You'd think I'd start to lose confidence in this team because we haven't done too much, but I think we have a damn good center core. McDavid's going to be our #1 center next year. We're going to put Bailey. I always want to say Bailly. I don't know why. Probably because of the soccer player. Eric Bailly. We'll put Bailey. It'll be McDavid, Bailey, Gergensons. Left wing side, Safronov, Barbashev, Draisaitl, Saprikin should be good enough. The right wing side, I mean, we're going to try to keep Emerson Edom, Tarasenko signed. We don't have too many good prospects there, though. But defensively, Walzer, McAllister, Lukowicz, Ortmeyer, still got Bombi in the system. And then goalies, we definitely started to figure it out with Bryant Ryan. Good things should be happening for us very, very soon here.